Next problem. A simply supported concrete beam of span 8 meter of rectangular cross section 125 mm wide and 250 mm deep is pre-stressed by a single cable in which total tensile force is 220 kN. The central line of the cable is parallel to the axis of the beam and 75 mm above the soffit over the middle third of the span and curved upwards in a parabolic manner over the outer third of the span to a distance of 175 mm above the soffit at the support. If the modulus of elasticity of the concrete is 35 kN per meter square and density of the concrete as 24 kN per meter cube, calculate first one upward deflection due to pre-stress only. Second one deflection due to pre-stress and self-weight. Third one magnitude of concentrated load placed at 1/3 points of the span which would result in short-term deflection of span by 500. First, we need to sketch the cable profile based on this given data. Say it is a rectangular beam, breadth of the beam is 125 mm and depth of the beam is 250 mm. So this is the overall depth, 250 mm is the overall depth of the beam. It is having a single cable in which the pre-stressing force is 220 kN. The central line of the cable is parallel to the axis of the beam, means it is horizontal, in which middle third portion of the beam, which is located at a distance of 75 mm above the soffit. Means we need to write a simply supported beam here. The span is 8 meter. For the middle third portion it is horizontal. For the middle third portion it is horizontal and it is located at a distance of 75 mm from the soffit. 75 mm from the soffit. Say this distance is 75. Total it is, overall depth it is 250 mm. Half of the depth it is 125 mm. Now eccentricity at the midspan will be equal to 125 minus 75. 125 minus 75 which is equal to 50 mm. That is eccentricity at the midspan or middle 1/3 of the portion, it will be equal to 50 mm. How you got the 50 mm means 125 mm minus 75 mm, which is equal to 50 mm. In the same way, for the remaining portion, it is parabolic, means curved in the fashion, so that it is located at a distance of 175 mm from the soffit at the support. From the soffit of the beam, it is located at a distance of 175 mm. Now, if it calculate the centroidal axis of the concrete, it will be at a distance of 125. 175 minus 125, which is equal to 50 mm. Which is equal to 50 mm. 175 minus 125. 127 ನಲ್ಲಿ 125 ನ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 50 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Say that is the eccentricity at the supports. At the midspan it is 50 mm and at the supports the eccentricity is also 50 mm. That is above the centroidal axis at the support, below the centroidal axis at the midspan. So this is the cable profile. Now for this type of cable profile we have not derived any type of the formula. For this type of the cable we need to again consider the Morse theorem to find out the deflection due to pre-stressing force and eccentricity. First I will take up that only. That is first one, deflection due to pre-stress and eccentricity. For this type of cable we need to calculate the moment. Moment is given by P into E. Here the eccentricity will going to vary. At the support it is 50 mm and at the midspan also it is 50 mm. Hence P, that is moment is equal to P into E, which is equal to P into E1 plus E2, which is equal to pre-stressing force in the cable is 220 kN. 220 into 10 raised to 3 into E1 plus E2, 50 plus 50, because we need to consider the net dip of the cable. Here it is 50 mm. At the support it is 50 mm. Now the net dip of the cable is 50 plus 50, that is 100 mm. We have taken here 50 plus 50. Now the moment due to P and E will be equal to 22 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeters. So this is the height of the bending moment diagram. This is the height of the bending moment diagram. From load balancing concept, we know that the cable profile will going to decide the shape of the bending moment, because indirectly we will going to decide the cable profile based on the bending moment diagram. Hence, based on this cable profile, the bending moment diagram will also be in the same fashion. For the middle third of the portion, it will be constant, and the remaining portion, it will be curved one. It will be curved one. So this is the nature of the bending moment diagram due to P and E. The height is 22 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. So this moment will be equal to height of the bending moment diagram. In addition, we need to consider the another bending moment diagram, that is about the constant eccentricity at the supports, that is P into E2. P into E2. Say this is 220 into 10 raised to 3 into eccentricity at the support, it is 50 mm. On simplification, it will be 11 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. Now, this diagram will be negative. Bending moment diagram will be negative here, and this one will be positive, because this is due to below the centroidal axis, and this eccentricity is above the centroidal axis. Hence, centroidal axis of the concrete. Hence, this one is negative, and this bending moment diagram will be positive. Now, we shall consider the Morse theorem. Delta is equal to, you know that, Ax bar by Ei. First, I will split up this figure into non-geometrical figures. First, I will split up this. First, I will going to consider the sector of the circle. Then, I will going to consider the rectangle, second one. Then, coming to the third one. First, we have to take up the half of the bending moment diagram. This base of the sphere will be, or sector will be equal to 2.66 meter, and this distance will be equal to half of this rectangle, that is 1.33. Base of the rectangle is equal to 1.33. Now I will going to apply the Morse theorem. Delta is equal to minus, first I will going to consider the sector here, 2 by 3 into base into height. 2 by 3 into height is 22 into 10 raised to 6 into base is 2.66 into 10 raised to 3, because I will going to convert this distance which is in meter to the millimeter. 2.6 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter. Now I have taken the moment, force I have taken here, sorry, area I have taken here, A into x bar. X bar is the distance between centroidal axis of the geometrical figure to the support, that is 5 by 8 into 2666. 5 by 8 into 2666, that is first one. Next I will going to consider the moment of the second figure. Now the area of the rectangle will be equal to 22 into 10 raised to 6. This total distance is 2.6 meter. Half of that one means 2.666 divided by 2. That is the area. Area into distance. Distance will be equal to, from centroidal axis of this rectangle to the support, 2.66 plus this base will be 1.33. 1.33 divided by 2. That is 2.66 plus 1.33 divided by 2. These two are negative. I have used the negative sign here. Now I will going to consider the third area. Since the bending moment diagram is positive, I will going to use the positive sign. Now area P into E2, base into height. Base is 11 into 10 raised to 6. 11 into 10 raised to 6. This is the height. Now base is half of the span, 8000 by 2 into centroidal distance 4000 by 2 all divided by EI. E is Young's modulus of the concrete, I is the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia for a rectangular section is given by BD cube by 12. On simplification, we will get it as 162.76 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now this deflection will be equal to minus 13.15 mm. This is the deflection in upward direction, hence it will be negative. So that is the solution for the first case, that is upward deflection due to pre-stress only. Now we need to calculate the deflection due to pre-stress plus self-weight. Means we need to calculate the intensity of the dead load. Intensity of the dead load is given by density of the concrete into cross-sectional area, 24 into 0.125 into 0.25, which is equal to 0.75 kilonewton per meter, which is equal to 0.75 Newton per millimeter. Now the intensity is equal to, intensity of the deflection is equal to delta is equal to 5 by 384 WL raised to 4 by EI. Delta is equal to 5 by 384 W 0.75 into 8000 to the power of 4 divided by Young's modulus into moment of inertia. On simplification, we will get 7.02 mm. Due to dead load, the deflection will be in the downward direction, hence we have to take this deflection as positive. In the problem, we are told to calculate deflection due to pre-stress and self-weight, means minus 13.15 plus 7.02, which is equal to minus 6.13 mm. So this is the net deflection due to pre-stress and dead load. In the third sub question, he is told to calculate magnitude of the concentrated load placed at 1/3 points of the span, which would result in short-term deflection of span by 500. He has given the permissible deflection as span by 500. Span is 8 meter by 500, which is equal to 16 mm. Means from the, if the beam is horizontal, say this is the permissible deflection, that is 16 mm. But due to dead load and pre-stress, the actual deflection is minus 6.13 meter. Now if you want to place the concentrated load at 1/3 points in order to create a deflection of span by 500 means, first we need to nullify this amount of deflection. Hence we need to consider the algebraic sum of these two deflections while calculating the intensity of the live load. Say that is delta is equal to 6.13 plus 16. 6.13, this is the net deflection due to pre-stress and self-weight, and 16 mm, this is the deflection due to maximum limits, that is span by 500 mentioned in this problem, span by 500. Now the net deflection will be equal to 22.13 mm. Now in order to nullify this deflection, we need to place the two concentrated loads at 1/3 of the span. For that type of loading condition, we have the formula for the deflection, that is delta is equal to 23 divided by 648 WL cube by EI. This deflection is equal to 22.13, which is equal to 23.648 into W we need to calculate, which are placed at 1/3 of the spans, into L raised to 3, that is L cube, 8000 cube divided by Young's modulus of concrete into moment of inertia of the cross section. Now the intensity of the point loads will be equal to 6.937 kilonewton. Means if two concentrated loads of 6.937 kilonewton are placed at 1/3 of the span from each support, then the maximum deflection will be equal to span by 500, that is 16 mm. So this is the solution for this problem.